Welcome to the One vs. One tournament. I am joined with my good friend Artist, and we are casting. It's Chompers versus who?
Yoda.
Versus
Droid
Yoda.
kick with something. Yoda,
Okay.
like Star Wars.
Okay, so when you are ready, I will hit the resume button. Let me know.
I am ready.
3, 2, 1. Let's go. Here we go.
Right.
Which round was this?
This is round 1 of the tournament. Still.
This is still the first round. Okay.
Yes. So the first match that we casted last time was Dudahan versus Sunblast, and this is Chompers versus Yoda. So Chompers is playing Space Marines at the top of the map with Landspeeder Doctrines, Tier 2, Terminator Command, Focus Shot, Tier 2. Early game, he's got Jonah Orion, a good crowd control hero that will buff his army, debuff the other side. Terminators mid-game, Solaria very strong late game. At the bottom of the map, building a boy's hut near his first his shield generator, you have Yoda playing Oryx with Weird Boy and Gorguts. So very early game matchup for build for Yoda, and they're just around the map, capping their first points. But the boys are going to find at the top of the map a servitor who tried to cap, but that will not work.
Yeah, that's some aggressive orc play here. This guy's fucking moving fast.
Yeah, he has to get on the map and start building his watchtower. His positioning is maybe a little bit too aggressive, depending on how Chompers react. But yeah, he's capturing. He's focused on the top of the map very much. Chompers tends to sleep a little bit on his node captures, so the bottom of the map, even though he's not contest, hasn't been taken by Chompers.
Yeah, it's a nice little engagement here.
Yeah, he's
the right side.
Tech Marines at the top, and versus two boys, the poor Marines are not going to win that one.
Yeah, they're done.
But they can retreat because they've got a lot of health, but they can't win. And even two tech squads versus two boys, the boys can just tie up the range units in melee, and the shooter boys can just pew Daka behind them. And so right now, Chompers has to retreat. You can see a war is starting to be summoned on the orc side, and the orcs have captured the bottom points as well. The war goes off, but nothing much happens for now. Drek is just going to push towards the shield generator of Chompers, who's being very defensive now. That's not going to be enough though, because again, melee squads versus range squads will just win most of the time. So he has to retreat. And he's not reinforcing his attacks. Well, he is, but just now.
Yeah, I just saw that.
So the Oris are going to just chip away slowly at the shield generator. The good thing is that they don't have a lot of damage versus objectives early on, so he has a little bit of time to react. And he has reinforced Tech Marines, and he's going to just shoot at the shooter boys, the backline, trying to get some models to die. But he needs some victories now because he's behind now. He hasn't built anything on his other nodes. Meanwhile, Yoda has built 3 requisition generators on his nodes, so he's got better economy already.
Well, which faction benefits the most from early map control out of the orcs and the Marines? I would say the orcs, right? I mean, they have to expand. If they don't expand early on, that's it. They're pretty much done.
They have to expand, but they struggle to expand early on with a limited number of walls because they only have 1 tower, cost a lot of power, and they don't have scrap on their units. You can see on the 2 boys, one has a plus on his squad. It means that he got scrap that he looted from the ground, and he's now much stronger, and he's got a charge and a stun on his charge. So early on, very early on, the orcs need scrap, and they generate that with their towers. Meanwhile, the Space Marines are very good early on because they're just as strong as they will be.
Looks like there's got some Marines down below as well.
Yeah,
Two
it's
front
a
war.
flank,
Yeah.
but you can see
Ooh, he
Gretchen
flung that.
inside the generator, so there's a shield up. So it will take about 10 minutes for that to work. Meanwhile, at the top, you can see snipers. Snipers are a pretty good counter to those orcs because they can get a lot of damage in without being in range. But he's still outnumbered. He lost attack squad. Oh no, it's at the bottom. I guess it's the same one. But he's going to lose that point if he doesn't put something inside. The boys are getting low in health though.
Yes, they
And
are.
now the shield is up, so the range damage can't happen until they kill the servitor inside, or they have a lot of damage to destroy the shield as well. So it's a little bit of a stalemate. Nothing is happening at the bottom. The tech marines are still slowly shooting at the shield generator. Chompers has built a requisition generator on his second point, but none on his first point. His first point has a listening post that makes it harder to capture, but he has no resources on this. It's going to be hard for Chompers if he doesn't get his economy going. Because Yoda is building power nodes now to go with his requisition nodes. So he's got 2 of those. And he's got 3 shooter boys with scrap. It's going to be hard when the orc starts pushing on the map. It's going to be hard to stop now.
Ooh, swing and a
Yeah, the
miss.
grenade. So Yoda got stick bomb doctrines. That doctrine that he's got means that stick bombs are an ability you get from scrap, where you can use the ability and throw a grenade. But the doctrine means that they get a free one, but you don't control where it goes. So that's what triggered there. And these were intentional, and these are triggered. So the poor scouts can't do anything against 3 shooter squads. So Yoda is just retaking the top contested point. Bottom is not being taken, but nothing is happening to those tech marines at the bottom of the map, and they are going to go through the
At some
shield.
point, yeah, if you wait long enough, yeah.
They're 2/3 of the way. So.
Yep.
Oh, big fight top in the bush.
Ooh, nasty.
Yeah, grenades do a lot of damage to those tech marines, but they were outnumbered in the first place, like 2 versus 3. And now you've got boys that come in to rescue their ranged friends. While Yoda is building a listening post on the top point, so he's actually gaining map control on top of keeping pressure on that top point.
That's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, you need to be doing stuff all over the map. Chompers has now 2 requisition points, but he still hasn't built power nodes. He's just behind in economy, so he can't match the unit production and the economy development that Yoda had. Because he built his nodes way sooner, and now he's got Gorguts versus Jonah. That's not going to end up well, especially and elites are very strong, but alone versus another elite and 5 squads, that's not going to happen. So Jonah dies just like that, which is sad because now Chompers has ASMs that can disrupt, but that's too late. He needed Jonah with his ASM to be able to do anything.
Grenades.
Yeah, so that point is that shield generator is going to drop. You can see Gorguts using spinning claw that prevents any range damage, but the assault space marines were able to stun him out of that. But it doesn't really matter because he doesn't have the follow-up for it. Like unupgraded tax, single squad and a single squad of snipers aren't going to be able to beat that. Although note that in Exodus, snipers do percent health damage to elites. So Gorguts is going down slowly but surely because of those snipers. But he can just waddle away like he's doing now. He's going to get a war. He's got healing war probably.
Get some scrap.
Yeah, so as you can see, when Gorguts is on the field alive, every wall that goes off like that just heals all the units around. So he got a little bit of health, but his units also got a little bit. So he could send units back to fight, although he doesn't really have anything to push right now because he can't take that top tower that has been opened by the deaths of the shield gen. And he doesn't really have points to contest on the map because Chompers didn't take anything.
No, he didn't.
So yeah,
This
Yoda,
point in the middle still hasn't been taken yet.
no. And the shield gen at the bottom has completely recovered. So Yoda just has to wait for until he's strong enough to take the tower or a new target presents itself. So that's actually in Chomper's favor where he can just sit there because Yoda can't really do anything. But he has to take some of the map and get his economy going. Right now he's in the middle of the map on that point that wasn't taken. And he's getting a decent force, like 2 tech squads, 2 submarines, snipers. But it's going to be hard without an elite. And he's got a Death Storm drop pod preparing, so that could turn. If he gets a good fight, that could turn the tide in his favor. But Yoda now has
some action.
His tier 2 units, like tank ballistas that are anti-vehicle and anti-building. So Yoda can now start to contest the base tower and start maybe threatening core. But he will have to move down though, because all of those TAC Marines and ASMs are at the shield, and you see another elite being summoned, and that's Zapnugin. So he's like a mage. Strong abilities with a lot of damage, very little health, and you see one of those abilities and it doesn't hit. It's very slow,
swing and a
but if
miss.
it hits, it's very strong.
And it was a swing and a miss on that one, but
yeah, it's very slow.
yeah.
And Jonah is being summoned again for the Space Marines. So now we have 1 elite versus 2 elites and decent forces on the ground. So we might actually see a proper fight happening in the middle.
Yeah, it's
Chompers
always
is
that
getting
feeling part, at the start where everyone's just feeling each other out.
Oh yeah, you can see snipers taking pot shots at Gorguts. Again, they do a little bit of percent damage to Gorguts. And then now Jonah has trapped Gorguts inside the wall, so the units outside can't help him. The SM can jump inside the wall, and they would probably be they just kill Gorguts, and that's huge victory.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Definitely use this teleport to just go away, and the shooter boys follow up because if the casting of that teleport finishes, any units around the origin point are also teleported with Zapnugin. So he was able to save his units like that.
I mean, he fucking slaughtered the orcs in that fight, but he's definitely not out of it.
That was very good, but you can see back at the base of the orcs,
he's not out of it.
Five
five
tank ballistas. That's a decent force. So Chompers has to capitalize on that victory, and he's doing that by trying to get that bottom shield generator down.
He's been working for that one for like a half hour now. Feels like forever. Yeah, 13 minutes.
The shooter boys are getting scrapped up. You've got three watt towers at the top generating scrap over time. So Yoda's army is pretty big, and it's moving down because it's going to defend that shield generator. And you can see boys being thrown using the trucks. They don't really hit anything, but it's enough to get the shield cover back up. And Chompers has to retreat. He's going to be able
grenades.
to do so. Yeah, that's a good amount of damage.
Might get him.
That single squad is being pursued by an entire army.
Yeah, they got him. Yep.
Yeah, they're dead, but Chompers was able to just capture those 2 boys inside the wall, and they would probably die if the Tech Marines wake up. What's going on? They're not doing much, and the wall goes down. They will survive.
Yeah.
It was still a good amount of losses. They lost quite a few models, but they survived.
Yep.
you can see squigs being thrown, but they don't do much at that stage of the game. But you can see that the large army of Yoda being put together. He's using reinforce on his truck, so he researched the upgrade for it. So now his boys can reinforce around any small trucks he has on the field like that. So he's getting ready to push. His boys are back into fighting shape, and they're inside the truck, ready to be thrown.
It looks like to me that the Space Marines seem to be in a bad position right now.
Well, they kind of have been since the start, really, because they didn't take a lot of the map, and now Yoda is just getting more and more of it without having lost any of the points that he took at any point. So Chompers is behind in economy, definitely, and in map control, and he's only now getting his arsenal built. His arsenal is the building that lets him get his infantry upgrades.
Yeah,
They're pretty important.
He's doing whatever he wants, but he's really shown great micromanagement as far as this game is concerned. He was all over the place right at the very start with the arcs. He was taking, resource points and all of that. He played well. The game's not over, but I thought he had a great early game.
Well, Yoda was definitely more proactive.
Yeah,
and Chompers was just responding to what Yoda was doing.
Well, that's
without,
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
He was responding without managing his backline, but as we said earlier, while Yoda was pushing, he was also capturing stuff and building his economy. And you have to be doing the two at once. You can't just fight, then play SimCity, then fight. That's not gonna work.
That's why I said earlier, who would benefit, the most from that early game map control, and I always felt like in some of the games that we saw last game, if the orcs don't grab map control early on, I noticed they don't do well in the late game.
Yeah, they have the Tech Marines. They're more tanky, so they could come back pretty strong later in the game. If they survive, they get very good dreadnoughts. They're very good tanks, so they could come back. The orcs, not so much. They've got a very strong early game, but if they don't win early, it's very hard to come back against a full Space Marine army. And you can see that drop pod being dropped on the back line of the orcs, and you can see the orcs are starting to melt.
Well,
and the tank busters are nowhere to be seen. You need anti-vehicle to destroy that drop pod, but they're not there.
Well, what we're watching right now, this is actually the Exodus mod that we're watching also. So it's not the vanilla game. It's the Exodus mod, which is like a balance patch for this game.
And in Exodus, the resources you get from the nodes are more important. So not having that map control early on was a huge blow to Chompers, more than it would have been in retail.
Yes.
The same way that not taking those infantry upgrades early on is also a huge blow, because the first two will give you like plus 40% health on your army. That's very significant. But Chompers didn't take that. He has built the building now, but he's not researching anything on it. So his units are still very squishy compared to the upgraded.
Hero goes down.
Yeah, poor guy.
Oh man, that was nice.
The Space Marines are hard to push into. But Jonah is not near the front line. He has to heal, so now the oldest units are unsupported, and they will die from the entire orc army that is now mobilized. You can see the
Flamers on the side there.
Yeah, Flamers in Exodus are very good. They give you a basic upgrade, like plus 15% health and damage. So it's as much as both damage and health upgrade in vanilla. So they get that in passive and AoE damage. But a single Flamer versus 6 or 7, 8, 8 units is not going to win, no matter how strong they are. You can see Yoda trying to use anti-tank units versus those nodes, and that's not very effective. He should be using his shooter boys, because
those tank busters are great though.
Yeah, they're great, but not versus normal armor.
Yeah, I know.
And the nodes, even though they look like buildings, they have normal armor, which is the same as infantry units.
So you'll be there forever shooting at it.
Yeah, it took a lot more time than it would have using
Yep.
Shooty Boys. You can see a tarantula turret that has been built by Chompers near his power node. They also have normal armor, so the Shooty Boys, the tank busters, sorry, you can see that they're shooting at them, at the turret, but it's not dying very fast, even though there's like 5 units shooting at it.
Is that? Well, what do you think about that? That's interesting. That's an interesting, bit of information. I mean, those are missiles.
Yes,
They should be able to bust that open.
but the turret has normal armor.
Should it? Was that like a mistake, or is that intended?
I don't think so. It's because they have to be useful long enough, and tank boosters get on the field like very quickly. They can destroy the turret if not. But if the turret had a vehicle armor, you could build turrets early game, and no one would be able to kill them. But with normal armor, you can kill the turret if you send enough tier 1 units. That's the idea behind it, I think. Otherwise, you could just turret everything up and force the game to go into tier 2 or tier 3 with proper anti-vehicle counters. Or you can use true damage as well. True damage is damage that is not reduced by armor types. So Eldar have that in the Reapers, for instance. And a lot of elites have true damage as well. Like Gorguts has true damage, and Jonah as well. And you can see Chompers has now been able to delay long enough to get Terminators. And Terminators are a very strong elite. They do a lot of ranged damage at very long range as well. And they build up rage as they shoot stuff.
They get even stronger.
They can use that rage to send missiles, and the more rage they have, the more missiles they send in single volley, and those missiles are devastating. They can just destroy objectives, and you can see those Terminators are just ripping the orcs to shreds.
Yeah, completely. Just wiped out the entire army.
Yoda is still going to be able to kill that generator, I think. So he's getting value still, but he's going to pay with his entire army pretty much. Like, he's got very hurt tank busters. He's got Zapnoggin that has to go away very quickly. Another thing that that you can see the missiles being used.
Yeah, I saw that.
Another thing that the Terminators do, that they slightly slow down units they shoot at. They suppress, like in Company of Heroes. So not only do they do a lot of damage to you, but they make sure that they can do a lot of damage to you for a longer time. So they're very, very scary, and pretty much they single-handedly manage to push back the orcs from that part of the map. It's still not a one game for Chompers, but that's some breathing room that he got from calling down that elite.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he can come back, though. He really doesn't have much of the map. It's not really anything.
But he also has Solaria, so if he manages to just delay again long enough as he has done until now, he could get another very strong late game elite, and
maybe turn the tide on the battlefield.
Yeah, Yoda also have a very strong late game elite, but maybe not as strong as Solaria plus Terminators. But I don't think like Yoda is going to give Chompers the time to do that, because he's got electric shields, which is a doctrine for his Death Dreads, and he's got 2 Death Dreads that are now upgraded. So these are strong Walker vehicles units. Now they do a lot of damage around them, and they slow. And he's going to be able to do that. And now in the middle of the map, he's got his late game elite, Gorkonaut. So now he's got a very strong late game elite and good Walker vehicles. He's getting ready to push objectives. And
that's GG. That's GG.
He saw that coming.
And that's that.
I think he could have held a little bit.
I think, I would have won. I wanted to, come on.
Yeah, he didn't try. I would have liked to see him try.
I know, man. That's fucked up. Alright, let's get into game 2, guys. We'll be right back in about 2 minutes.
But Gorkonaut is scary.
Yeah,
instant win.
Instant kill. He just showed up. Alright, we'll be back, guys. Okay, guys, we are back. This is round one, game two. I'm joined with Artist,
Yes,
and when you're ready, I will hit resume.
I am ready.
3, 2, 1, go. And we're off. So who's playing who for the people that
So
just
it's the
joined us?
second game of Illuminati versus Directly with a Shotgun, aka Chompers versus Yoda. Chompers lost last game, sadly. He was a little bit too passive early on, and he just gave up when he saw Gorguts hit the field. No, not Gorguts. The Gorkonaut hit the field.
He got
Very
beat
scary
down.
orc units.
He got a beat
Yeah.
down.
So right now, we're seeing about the same. No, Illuminati actually changed his doctrines. He went for a lot of tax marine doctrines. So he's got one. He's got a assault leap on his assault marine. So he's got a more tier one build now. So he's probably going to be a little bit more aggressive, and we can see a fight already in the middle where they're contesting those points. But Yoda has changed factions, so he's playing Space Marines as well. So we're going to see a
Nice little
Space
mirror
Marine
match. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, the true skill test.
Oh yeah, it's mano a mano.
Chomper has decided that he would take and hold the middle point because he's building a tarantula turret right there. So he's spending power to hold that point. So he has to make sure that he keeps it. But he's not taking his natural points. Well, Yoda is building a requisition generator on his natural, and he's getting his expansion. And he captured the top where he built
Well, he's starting
barracks.
now. He's branching out now. He's grabbing it now. You know, the resource in front of him.
Yeah, he is. So Chompers is settling, entrenching in the middle, while Yoda is building a base at the top of the map. Bottom of the map, 2 power nodes. No one wants them, so they don't like power in this game. But Chompers is building an elite point generator, so he's going to be getting elites faster now. That's a pretty ballsy investment where it's his first node. Like he has no resources. He's now getting a requisition generator, but his first node was an elite point. So yeah, pretty aggressive. Meanwhile, Yoda is checking on the gen at the top, trying to bash resources, but there's nothing to bash. So he's just shooting at tacticals now. Probably a little bit sad that he couldn't destroy any economy because there's none to be destroyed. Yoda has 2 requisition generators now. A third one top. Buying a fourth one. Building an LP. So Yoda still with the strong map control and strong early economy, while Chompers still isn't on top of his economy. I'm afraid we might see a replay of the first game, even though it's not orcs. Yoda is checking the top shield gen now because that's what he has to do. And Chompers sent a poor servitor to die trying to get the shield up. It's now dead and the shield is down. And you can see that Chompers only has 2 tech marines while Yoda has 1 more squad, but it's a melee squad, so he can shut down the stacks if he wants to. So right now he's just destroying the shield generator uncontested. Pretty hard. Chompers is building barracks inside his base, so he can get scouts now, or he has assault space marines, trying to match the army composition of Yoda. Yoda has to retreat now. He's starting to lose models on expensive space marine units. So a little bit of a stalemate, but Yoda has twice the economy of Chompers. Chompers is retaking his natural power nodes, but not building anything. He has taken the bottom point, and now there's a servitor battle inside the shield generator at the bottom, while at the top, 2 tech marines try to get that point, but now we see drop pods with the very strong early game.
Look at that flame! Wow,
and it just wiped those tax marines. Yeah,
nasty.
The flamer that's 137 DPS ranged That's about 5 times the DPS of those tax marines. They're doing
Yeah,
31 DPS.
nasty.
That's a lot. You really have to tie them up right away, or just leave. You can't sustain a PvP fight like he tried to do early on. Those ASMs are going to do just that. Hopefully, disrupting everything. They're going to focus the elite squad, but it won't do much unless
Immediately he goes into melee.
Yeah, he has to tie that squad up because 137 range DPS is too much. Although he does a good deal of damage in melee as well. But Jonah was behind and he was able to wall them up. We see a second healed up squad of ASM trying to again tie up that kill team, and that the kill team might die if Chompers actually focused on it, moved that Jonah.
Might get him. Yep.
He's not moving Jonah though. That. What are you doing? Okay. Jonah is doing a very good amount of damage in range, and the damage he does bounces to other units, so he could finish off that unit, but he's not doing that. And now
Why is Jonah just kind of standing there? I don't know.
Yeah, Chompers. Yeah, he's Chompers.
He's moving now.
He's not very focused sometimes. So yeah, the ASM had to back because the kill team was able to shoot at them. Even though there's only 2 models left, they still do more damage than a full tax marine squad. So it's very serious damage. You have to tie them down. Once you do, they're easy to kill, but you have to tie them down. And Jonah has to run away because he's not going to beat 4 squads, but he uses his small blast that we saw. It boosts his allies' speed when there's something to boost. But he's been trapped by 2 assault marines. He uses blinds, so the assault marine squad can't attack him for now, and that saves him. He can just walk back into tower range, and we see a little bit of a scuffle between more assault marines. It's a little bit of mirror match, but Yoda has his kill team behind. And that's going to be very bad for those poor Chompers assault marines that just melt. They melt. They lost 3 models. 3 models, 2 left, 1 left. So yeah, that's.
Looks like we got.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. It looks like we have a little bit of controversy in the chat. Chompers is being accused of marijuana use.
I cannot
confirm or deny these rumors.
Allegations. I don't know who's watching. I don't know anything.
I don't know anything either. I only report the news. I don't make it. I only report the news, man.
All I know is that he's trying to fight a bigger army with those poor ASM squads, and they're going to struggle. And if he wants to fight, he has to tie those that kill team Ironmo squad. But even if he does, he's still outnumbered, so he has to just build more units. He's got snipers. Again, in Exodus, snipers do percent damage to elites. He got 2 squads of snipers. So if one space marine, one assault marines squad ties up the kill team and the snipers shoot at the kill team, he will die very quickly. But he has to be on top of his micro and not just let Jonah behind and doing nothing, that kind of stuff. So right now his cherished elite point generator is going to die because he's being pushed in the middle. The Tarantula turret is doing his distraction job, and yeah, Jonah tried to use his wall around his standard, trapping those units, and now he's getting inside, but the follow-up wasn't there quick enough, so it's a little bit
pretty useless.
Well, he prevented damage. On the other hand, it
was going to retreat. That would be
around.
Great. Yeah.
Yoda is just backing off. Nothing is really happening.
Well,
he only lost a listening points, so it's fine. But right now, it's the snipers they're a little bit far. They can't reach the kill team, but we see a second wall this time on Jonah, but he's jumping his assault marines away, so he will struggle to finish off those 2 tech marines that he captured. He will kill 1, maybe 2, depends on the duration of the wall.
That fire's not doing any damage, right?
The fire can't do damage through the wall.
No,
It,
cannot. Okay.
it's visual. The wall
Yeah,
is a shot blocker, but as soon as the wall just drops, they will do
they will do
damage,
damage. Yep.
a lot of it. So he was able to just kill a lot of attack marines. So it was, I think it was worth it for Chompers, even though Chompers is not building his economy, he's not capitalizing on that. While Yoda has 3 power nodes, 4 power nodes.
And yeah,
Uh,
he's cruising, even though he didn't do so well in that exchange.
no, he's going to be able to take off much faster than Chompers because he's got more power. He's going to be able to research infantry, which he has. So his units are stronger than Chompers' units, who are still unupgraded, so they have much less health. Like, can I find units with the same amount of health? Yeah, you can have. Droid Kid has assault marines that have 2,200 health, and Chompers has assault marines that have less than 2,000. So that's already significant. So right now they're just sitting at their bases. They don't really know what to do. Yoda is not reinforcing his herd tactical marine squad. He's not outside on the field because he's been scared by the walls. But Jonah is not doing anything either. He's at the middle with his 2 snipers, 2 assault marines. They don't know what to do.
Well, looks like there's some movement. Let's see where he's going.
But Yoda is trying to see what's going on at the bottom. But
Yep.
Chompers has built a listening post, but no generators, so there's nothing being produced there.
Wow, look at how the fire just tears that tower down.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's normal
Melted
damage.
like butter.
That's what I was saying in the previous game with using tank business to destroy nodes. That's not the right kind of units, and if you have the right type of damage, they just die much faster. But while he was doing that, Chompers is very aggressively attacking Yoda. He's actually attacking his natural points inside his base. He jumped Soul Space Marines there, and they're 2v1 at the top, but now they're 3v2, so that turned out it escalated quickly. And there are more stuff falling from the ground, so we're seeing Soul Space Marines jumping on each other 3v3. Standard is dropped for Yoda, so that's support. He will get more defense out of that. And now Kill Team is just going to be able to shoot at them using their Void Grenade to bring them together, and they're all dead.
This is a very intense battle. Wow, that was great.
That's what happens when you have the same amount of units fighting each other, but one side has an elite and not the other, because Jonah was out of the fight. He couldn't support his units that far back. And now he's going to be shredded by
yeah.
Oh no.
Smart move.
He scared them away, but that might not be enough because they've been silenced. Now they can jump, and the kill team is still shooting. The assault marines are still shooting with their small pistols, small bolters.
Oh, Orion's done.
Orion's done. The
Dunsky.
assault marines are done. On what's left is like 2 snipers. They're not going to be able to retake the map. So it's a huge loss. And he wasn't able to destroy the nodes on Yoda's natural point, so he didn't get any value really out of that push.
You know, one thing I noticed about Dawn of War versus Code 2 is I feel like in Dawn of War 3 there's more of an emphasis on the battle than the actual fighting over the resources. If that makes any sense to you?
In retail, it's resources on the map, the nodes, they don't matter as much because your HQ just produces too much. In Exodus, the economy will make a huge difference, and you will see that pretty soon when Yoda starts bringing upgraded units with now plasmas on the tactical squad, and he's going to be bringing vehicles sooner, and that changes the fight a lot. So fighting is important, but you have to get something out of every victory you get. Killing units is not going to win you a game. You have to do something once you do. Like get an objective, destroy some economy somewhere. You have to get value outside of just killing units. And we can see middle point is being pushed again. That Tarantula turret is still holding, but not for long. That elite point has been up for the entirety of the game now, and Chompers is actually able to call down his Terminators. So he could do that, or he can wait 4 more points for Solaria and see if he can win with that. But you have to keep in mind that he can drop Terminators at any point now. That's a thing that you have to keep in mind. But he can't really contest that middle point with just snipers and Devastator squad, so he's backing away from that. He lost the middle point now. He's building power finally on his natural expansion after 15 minutes. Chompers, if you're watching, you need to think about your resources more, mates. And now he's spamming kind of a Devastator Marines. So he has 3 squads of that. They're going to be able to range the range squads of Yoda, but Yoda has 3 Assault Space Marines that can just jump on them. So I'm not sure it's the proper counter. And Yoda is now Yoda is now building a Doctrine Chapel in the middle.
Okay, here we go.
Chompers is preparing. He has the range now, so he's using that.
Got the range.
He's using it to poke, trying to piss Yoda off, and he's got a lot of units that he's moving. He shouldn't move his Devastators now, because they have a setup time, so they need to be ready to shoot as soon as those guys get in range. And he's getting jumped now.
Oh, here we go.
So,
nice.
He's jumping on the other side, and you can see why resources matter. Because Yoda is able to drop a Dreadnought, and that's something that Chompers can't deal with now. He doesn't have any anti-armor capacity, so he might drop his Terminator somewhere near one of his nodes to counter that. But right now he can't defend against that Dreadnought. So resources matter a lot. It's just not as obvious as Company of Heroes, where you just shut down entire regions of the map where you can't build stuff. But they matter, and Jonah is going to pay for that.
I wish that they would have unlocked a lot of the camera controls that were in some of the other games that Relic made. It's so limited. It's so fucked up, you know?
This game is gorgeous.
I know. Could you imagine? Oh my god.
The regular settings, but there is a setting. There's a mod for it on the workshop.
I heard that. I gotta check that out.
You can use free cam and you can make gorgeous screenshots. But now we have kill team that is being dropped inside Chompers' base. 2 Dreadnoughts. They're attacking that tower. But Yoda was a little bit rushed here, and he's trying to attack the base, but he can't hurt the tower before he kills the shield generator, and he hasn't done that. So that tower in the middle is pretty much immortal. So that's pretty bad for Yoda. He has to back because he can't damage that tower, and that tower is shooting very heavily at that kill team that is going to die. Maybe not. Very low health, but he's dropping Assault Terminators. He still can't kill that turret. So but now he has enough to kill the shield generator. So he's walking his dread there. The Assault Terminators do a lot of true damage, so they have their full DPS against that shield generator. The 2 Dreadnoughts do melee armor piercing, so again full damage against that. And now the tower is open. Chompers still has nothing to deal with that much armor. He doesn't have power.
This is looking like GG. This is looking like GG.
Yeah, that base is going to be forced open, and the Assault Marines, they couldn't have anti-armor damage with power swords, but now they don't, and they get shredded by the power slams of the Dreadnoughts and the Assault Terminators that are all very, very strong in melee. So you really don't want to melee those guys, and that tower is going down fast. And again, Chompers has nothing to defend now. That core is
That's
open,
that. Yep.
and still not no counter. Terminators have not been used by Chompers. So maybe he doesn't know he can call them down, or
He
he's
just
just giving
doesn't
up.
care. Yeah.
Or maybe your chat was right. Who knows? And now we can see predators being dropped. So that's tier 3. So yeah, you can see why economy matters. Chompers cannot match that much power. He's using his power core shelter, 20-second delay, but it's just 20-second where he gets to see how he lost the game. And now he lost the game.
Wow.
So
GG.
GG.
I tip my hat off to both players. That was fun.
Yeah. Chompers was too passive there, not minding his economy. Uh, it would be different with two players who actually built power nodes at the same rate.
Well, you can't win them all, and what matters is that you show up. Chompers, thank you so much for participating in the tournament. We're going to move on to the next set of games. Are you ready to do another set, or do you want to call
Yes.
it? I would like to do another set.
I'm ready.
Yeah. So, guys, we're going to take a very short break while Artist picks out our next replays that we're going to cast, and we'll be right back. And we are back. Welcome back, artist.
Hey,
This is another game from round one, right?
no, this is round two.
This is round
Uh,
two. Okay.
Waits won his match against Societe, so he's moving in round two, and Dullahan was sitting round one because we didn't have enough players. So Dullahan is entering the tournament at that point.
Okay. Gotcha. And when you are ready,
I'm
three,
ready.
2, 1, resume. And we're off.
So we have a mirror match between Eldar. So at the bottom of the map, we have Weiss, who's playing Ronan, Striking Scorpion, and Banshees. He's got Banshee Rage and Avenger Shield, so two doctrines that give shields to his units. So he's going to be a bit more tanky than regular Eldar, who are pretty squishy usually. Meanwhile, Dullahan is playing more of a mid-game, late-game composition with Ronan as his early-game elite, but then he has Wraith Lord, 7 points, and Wraith Knight, 9 points, while fight is breaking in the middle of the map between Bone Singer and Dire Avenger. And Dullahan is also using an unusual doctrine with deployable energy shields. So it's like the walls you could build in Dawn of War 2, and something that you don't see used very often in Dawn of War 3. So there are shenanigans that are planned by Dullahan, clearly, who also happens to be the guy who made the Exodus balance mod that we're using for this tournament.
Yep, I was just about to say that. For those of you that don't know him, he has put in a lot of work into this game and into the Exodus mod for a long, long time.
And we're seeing Dullahan pushing near the middle of Weiss's side, but Weiss is using his web portals to support his troops, and he's doing that a lot, and it's pretty efficient. But Dullahan is doing the same, moving one of his two warrior portals in the middle of the map and building a webway gate. He also has Webway Holofield, but that webway gate is not going to be finished because it was focused by the Dire Avengers of Weiss. So we can see a Dire Avenger fight 3 versus 2, but keep in mind that Weiss's Dire Avengers have more shields from his doctrine, so they will always have a slight advantage. But Dullahan has built Dark Reapers. Dark Reapers are a setup team that do true damage in AoE, and they slow down the units they hit. And you can see, even though they were de-set up by the grenades of the Dire Avengers, they did remove quite a bit of their improved shields, and they have to back because that's serious damage. And the AoE damage they do will work very well on units that stack together. That's one of the bad side of Dawn of War 3, that units tend to clump together a lot, and you don't have that click drag feature that you had in previous games to make them spread out in formation. So if you don't yourself keep in mind not to blow up your units, they tend to bunch up, and that can be very punishing if you get caught by big abilities or Dark Reapers like that. Dullahan has been very aggressive and built a listening post on Weiss's side on the map next to his bottom shield generators. While Weiss is trying to push back mid, but that's quite unorthodox. Very aggressive Dullahan, who's teleporting his buildings again. But Weiss is trying to punish that aggression by going bashing the resources of Dullahan on his natural side of the map, supported by a warrior portal that is building more Dire Avengers. So we have 5 Dire Avengers on Weiss's side, fighting 3 on Dullahan, 2 on Dullahan's side with a Dark Reaper. The Dark Reaper again do true damage, so that warrior portal is going to die rather fast. And that blob of Dire Avengers can't really push into that Dark Reaper They have to be careful, and they're just dancing at the edge of the range of those guys. They don't want to get too close. Weiss loses his building, and he has to back. It's a pretty equal, all
I,
things considered.
I think we'll do a giveaway at the start of the next game, which will be the last game of this series, right? Was this a 2-game series?
I think so. Yes, maybe,
Okay,
probably.
so whatever. At the start of the next game, we're gonna do a giveaway of something. I'll figure that out. The Steam
So
key.
yeah, Dullahan is building a power node. Has skipped requisition nodes, while Waze has 2 requisition nodes, and there's a little bit of harassment going on in the middle of the map, where Dullahan is trying to figure out what's going on by throwing grenades inside the fog of war, but he can't really push in too much. He's got a resource point. He's got an elite point. Like Dullahan has the middle point built, and He has built an energy shield. So these are shot blockers that are one-way shot blockers, and that's something you don't see a lot, but it can be pretty strong if you put your setup units behind, and you can see that those Dark Reapers are able to shoot the Weiss's Dire Avengers, even though they have their high ground. So Star Wars is a lie. The high ground doesn't do everything, and Weiss has to back off. But we can see Ronan hit the field on Weiss's side, and Ronan he's a sniper. He's got very long range, a lot of burst damage, and he has piercing shots that can go through pretty much the entirety of the map, through buildings, through units. That's a lot. And now he's focusing Dullahan's warrior portal that Dullahan put in the high ground to get vision for his Dark Reapers that are still doing a lot of damage. They're doing a lot of work on that warrior portal. But Weiss is flanking, he's sending his Ronan, and now Ronan is on the proper side of the wall, and he's going to be able to shoot those Dark Reapers.
Yeah, that's a lot of action.
And you can see that the piercing shot that he sent, and he appears on the mini map as well as a red square.
Looks like he wants to bust open that shield.
Yeah, he has to get rid of that shield because that allows Dullahan to siege the middle very efficiently.
Yep.
The piercing shot of Ronan does damage to vehicles and buildings, so that's why it drops so fast. And now Wace's Dire Avengers are focusing down that elite point because you don't want to leave it up too long because Dullahan has pretty good elites. So you want to delay them as much as possible. Dullahan is trying to recall his warrior portal, but he was too hurt. He lost his Dark Reaper squad, so he still has a smaller army, but he was able to put Weiss on the defensive pretty effectively with just the use of that energy shield. The map is divided pretty evenly now, as well as resources. It's about the same. A little bit more requisition for Weiss, but he also spends more. He bought more Dire Avengers than Dullahan did. Dullahan is playing a very economic game.
Both guys know the game pretty well. I can tell by the gameplay.
Oh, definitely. These are more, let's say, serious players compared to Chompers and Yoda, the match before.
It's an enjoyable match. It's been action since the game started.
Dullahan has a little bit less practice, but he knows the game.
Yep. Oh, for sure he does.
More on the coding side for having worked on the mod itself, and being a veteran Dawn of War player as well. So he rebuilt Dark Reapers because it worked, so why not rebuild those guys? But he has to be careful of Ronan now. While Weiss has built 2 Banshee squads now, and they have Banshee Rage, so as they deal damage, they build up charge, and when the charge triggers, they get a little bit of shield back, so it allows them to tank a little bit more as they deal damage. And now they're inside of the army of Dullahan,
Nice
force
little
a
exchange.
retreat.
Yeah. Yep.
But we can see Kyre. It wasn't Ronan, it was Kyre. So Dullahan has Otar Kyre, and Kyre is a very strong guy. He has those small tornadoes that
Yep.
he sends.
Looking at it. Yep.
They slow down units, and he can send 3 at once, and he can just jump in the sky. He has like jetpacks, and if he does that while the tornadoes are up, the tornadoes would grab everything towards him, and he can then drop grenades on top of them. So it's pretty nasty if you get caught. So you really have to worry about those tornadoes. Even if you think you can survive the damage, he can pull you away, and you never know if he's going to do it or not. So stay away from the winds, pretty much. And he was able to push back the larger army of Weiss, but Weiss now has striking scorpions. Striking scorpions are like they're like a stronger Banshee squad almost, but they can jump. And he's got a doctrine on that shares his hunt. So hunt gives them a cloak, so he's able to do pretty nasty flanks with those Banshees by infiltrating them first. But he has to be careful because those striking scorpions are very early game elite. So they do a lot of damage, but as you can see, they also can't take a lot of damage.
No.
And they were wiped by those Dark Reapers.
Kyre's in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, Kyre
he's
still
done.
in trouble though, because Ronan was behind sniping stuff. So it's 1-for-1, losing those striking scorpions, but losing Kyre. And Kyre was pretty much a bigger loss because Ronan is still there, and he's still using his long shot to try and kill those units reinforcing. You can also get vision through the path of the projectile, so it's also nice to scout the map.
Kyre got beat down.
Yeah, the poor guy was in the middle of everything. He was shot at from all sides, but he was also slowing down those scorpions, so that he secured that kill.
Hey, Sosite just asked the question, what elites does Dullahan have?
Dullahan has Otar Kyre, that is dead now.
That is dead.
He has Wraith Lord, and Wraith Lord was buffed in Exodus, so he's a pretty good tank now. Pretty significant charge, very scary in melee. And he has Wraith Knight, which is a giant unit with the big guns, and he can jump on stuff, and yeah, big pew pew.
He's got about 240 seconds to wait up till he can grab Kyre again.
Yeah,
roughly.
But he was able to hold that elite point early on, so he's got a. I know he just got 1 elite point, but he's still ahead in points. So now he's just going to keep playing defense like he did. Like the map is still divided in half pretty much. So
pretty much
that skirmish, while very nice to look at, wasn't much. But you can see something very sneaky that Weiss is doing.
Oh,
up top.
I just saw that.
He sent his Bone Singer teleport to get vision, and he now can bash those resources without having to go all the way around through the different ramps.
That is fucking sneaky.
There.
That's
and
nice.
That's very sneaky.
Yeah.
Although like he's got 6 squads bunched up together, that's asking for a wipe. You never know what's around the corner.
Wow, that's some range, man.
But yeah, that's a very sneaky move.
That's some
definitely
range.
what you want to do. Because if you don't do that, get vision with the Bone Singer, you have to go all the way around in front of the shield generator, so you reveal yourself. But here he was able to bash that, and
sneaky.
He
Man,
could have run away if something approached as well. So very, very good use of that Bone Singer teleport right there.
Great job.
And he now has 6 Dire Avengers. He's got his Striking Scorpions back. He's got Ronan, so 2 elites. That single Banshee squad of Dullahan is not going to survive. Like,
I don't think he knows what's waiting for him. Well, he does now.
The Banshees are dead. The Dark Reapers do a lot of damage, but they have to run away because the Striking Scorpions can jump, and they do. And they catch those Reapers. The Reapers are going to die. You have new ones that just popped out, but they have to get inside covers somewhere because they will not survive those grenades. Like 6 Dire Avengers with bigger shields is too much for a single Dark Reaper squads. If he had 2 placed behind cover or something, he could push them back, but yeah, now he just dies. Dullahan is still capturing Weiss's points while this is happening, so he's not doing nothing, but he can't really do much against that big blob. So he has to stand back. He's still building units, but he's now standing in cover of that shield generator, building Dark Reapers to replace the 2 he just lost, and trying to see what's going on with his Bone Singer. And Ronan is getting
Ow.
yeah, it's getting pretty low. He has to be careful. And you can see specters, shadow specters from Weiss. So these guys do a lot of anti-armor damage if you let them channel their laser. Their beam gets stronger over time.
Over time, yep.
And they're going to be able to just destroy that top shield while his army pretty much locks Dullahan troops. Dullahan is stuck on the other side of the map and he can't really defend that. And you can see the specters, but 1 Dark Reaper can get that shield down.
Yeah,
really,
you can see
really
as
fast.
the laser gets stronger and stronger as the seconds pass.
Yeah, and Dark Reapers do true damage, so they also do a lot of damage to that generator. And you can see, even though there's a Bone Singer in there, and the bubble is active. The bubble is dropping really, really fast. It's now gone. The Bone Singer is dead, and that top shield is dead. There's nothing that Dullahan can do. He can't get back there in time even.
Well,
so he's sending Dark Reapers on the high ground to scare those guys away, but the striking Scorpions from Weiss were able to just jump on those guys and deny that defense, which is pretty strong. So a jump on a Banshee squad is actually pretty useful. Kyer has been summoned, but it's too late. The
too late,
top
yeah.
shield is gone. But now Kyer is going to probably be able to push all those guys away. He went into the sky. He dropped some grenades, but
that did nothing. He just took casualties, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, the Dire Avengers of Weiss are in the shield bubble, so he has to get rid of that first. So he's sending Kyer instead to on top of that Scorpion squad that just stayed behind. So
Nasty.
now they're in trouble because he's pulling them inside of the range of that tower. He's using the wind to slow the Scorpions down. Scorpions are trying to jump, but again, they have no health. So once they did their trick, they have to run away pretty much. So now they're waiting on the cooldown of their jump to just jump out of there, trying to guide the wind of Kyer. They're in a pretty tough spot. Being pursued by Dire Avengers now. But Kyer just walks away and let the Scorpions go away with... Oh yeah, still, they die.
I think this is GG at this point. Looks like that.
Oh, I wouldn't say that because Weiss still doesn't have enough to push those structures yet.
He's just waiting now. You know, he's just waiting, and he's pretty much doing whatever he wants. I mean,
it's a waiting game, but he doesn't have control over much of the map, really, resource-wise.
he could if he wanted to, though.
Yeah, but it takes time.
Yep.
He's got warp spiders now, so Weiss has all of his elites on the field because he had a very early elite build, but Dullahan has stronger elites, so he can try just delay and get those better elites. But Weiss is going to attack that top tower with 2 specters, trying to see what he can do. But Dullahan just got tier 3, so he's preparing something. He has to be careful with his top tower. He has to go defend that, and he can push away a couple specters. But he has to do that right now.
Yep.
That tower is getting down.
Here he comes.
Warp spiders jumped and tried to prevent the reinforcements for getting there, and it worked. The tower is done.
It's
now.
gone. Yep.
So core could go down, but
Here comes
really there's
Weiss.
only 2 specters to kill, so it's pretty dangerous to
Oh,
to
boy.
stay. you can see just Kyre with his win is able to just push that army away. So he can steal all holes. He just doesn't have a large army to just be everywhere on the map. But again, he's tier 3. He's got an infinity portal, so he can get Wraith Blades and Wraith Guards. So heavy armor units that are going to be pretty dangerous for Waze if they show up. We're going to see what he has in mind. Meanwhile, just Waze is just killing his units, but he can't really push in like that. Because he still has a tier 1, tier 1.5 army composition with just Dire Avengers and Spectres.
He's retaken the map control. Something
sending
needed to do.
Dire Avengers behind, but Dullahan is not going to let that happen easily, and he's preventing that capture in the middle. He still holds his bottom half of the map, and he's summoning Wraith Blades right now. He's got his shrine, so he has improved regen on his units. So we're going to see what Wraith Blades can do against infantry. He has to keep in mind that 2 Spectres are going to be very dangerous for those Blades, but if he can get rid of that threat, the Blades are going to kill everything else that Weiss has. And the Blades hit the field.
Yeah,
they are with Kyre, with a couple Dire Avengers, Bonesinger to see the mines of the War Spider. It's not enough. The mines trigger. You can see those green things on the ground.
Yeah.
They do a lot of damage.
Yep. Well,
but they didn't go through the fields.
Well,
so right now, Waze saw that Bonesinger, but I don't think he saw that those Blades, and he doesn't have Spectres near, so the Blades could charge in and try to get some value. The War Spider is being annoying.
Oh, let's do a little slow motion. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the Blades are charging the Warp Spiders, but the Warp Spiders were just baiting the Blades into mines, and the mines just wiped the Blades. And now we see a Falcon, and that's a very dangerous situation.
Yep.
Falcons are squishy, but they do a lot of infantry damage.
Sure.
AoE. Kyre is being focused down. He's jumping. He's trying to disrupt as much as he can. The Eldritch Storm has been called down from Dullahan's. There are more Blades on the field. They could charge that Falcon that is almost dead, but they're trying to focus the Spectres. The Spectres are the only threat to the Blades outside of mines right now. That Storm is doing a good number on those Eldar, though. They started to lose their shields, and they're going to start losing models pretty soon. That's the ultimate of the Eldar, but it means that it delays bigger units from either elites from Dullahan. He won't be able to call the Wraith Lord anytime soon. Now he's got 4 points, he needs 7. So he's in a bit of a pickle now, because Wraith Blades didn't pay off. That rush to tier 3 wasn't enough.
That's GG.
And Waze still can't really push hard. He still doesn't have the AV to kill that core fast, and the Blades could catch his stuff pretty quickly still. He has to be careful. But it's just a waiting game. He's got more of the map now. Dullahan lost most of the economy. And he can't really... he doesn't have a building to get vehicles, so he can't get fire prisms even though he's in tier 3. He's using his wave grid gates to hide those Dire Avengers top to see what's going on. But the striking Scorpions are able to use Hunt, and Hunt also reveals on the minimap infantry units. You can see a red dot, so he jumped there to reveal those Dire Avengers.
That's nice.
He couldn't see them, but he knew they were there.
Yep.
Now he's got a second Falcon. That's about the critical mass versus Eldar to just kill units before they can kill your Falcons. So the Falcons are going to be able to just wipe the infantry.
Weisberg might be an Eldar in real life. Holy
Weiss
shit.
has his own storm, and he's put some units inside the storm, and that turns it into that giant beacon that calls down stuff. from the sky, and that's a lot of damage.
Oh wow,
At this point, yeah, it's GG now because nothing is going to stop those Falcons, and Jodahan just concedes.
what a sight! It's beautiful to look at.
So that tier 3 rush was a nice attempt, but it
Yeah,
really didn't pay off.
that was awesome.
It was nice, like stuff you don't see as often, like walls you don't see. They work well, and
I
fast tech to tier 3. That's
the mirror
interesting.
matches with decent players is like a whole different experience.
Yeah,
Just
because
watching
they're
it.
always doing something on the map, even if they're losing something somewhere, they're trying to get value to make up for it somewhere else. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I think Eldar's my favorite faction. I just like them. I like them in Soulstorm
Well, they're pretty good, but
too.
they don't have a Watt Tower though. Do they play rock music before going into battle? I don't think so.
No,
Mm-mm.
they don't.
So orcs
It's
are the
funny.
best in Modern Warfare 3.
I
You
don't think
can't
so.
deny.
I think they're. I think the
It comes
Eldar's
from someone
beautiful.
who hated orcs in Dawn of War 1 and 2 as well.
Ah,
But
poor
in 3,
guts.
they're the best.
Let's throw on that next game, guys. We'll be right back with the next match. Hey guys, welcome to the 1v1 tournament if you're just joining us. This is. Which round is this, artist?
This is round 2, and this is game 2 of Dullahan versus Weiss.
Hey guys, before we start the game, I wanted to do a quick giveaway of Dawn of War 3. At the end of the broadcast, you can give me a PM and send me your Steam profile, and I'm going to send you a copy of Dawn of War 3. I'll give you a Steam key for it. If you'd like to participate in this raffle, type in hashtag artist in chat. Type that, and if you'd like to jump in the raffle for the free Steam key. We'll give that a minute or two to see if anybody would like one. And this should be an interesting game, hopefully.
Well, it's interesting. We can see already that Weiss has changed factions and Dullahan has changed his doctrines. So they're adapting to each other.
So it looks like we're going to see some Space Marine action versus the Eldar.
Yes. Dullahan has kept the Eldar, but he's changed his setup. He's going to start with Maka, who's a very strong hero with a very effective crowd control and buffs. He also got that Banshee Rage doctrine that Weiss has had the previous game, but he also has Rift Blast, which is it allows his Wraith Guards to switch their damage type from AV to anti-infantry, so they will be effective against all targets. And he's got Shuriken Graph platforms as his doctrine. In Exodus, it lets them teleport. So he's not going to be as defensive as he was on the first game with his wolves, and instead he's got Rift Blast and Banshees. Meanwhile, Weiss has completely changed his faction.
Well, it looks like nobody actually wants the game, so I guess we'll just start. So on the count of 3, we'll hit resume. 3, 2, 1, resume. And we're off.
So Weiss is Space Marines now, and he's got Kill Team, and Kill Team is remember that flamer that they have, and they're going to do a lot of damage to those squishy Eldars if they get caught. He also has Jonah that we saw Chompers play with those walls, and those Terminators that are pretty good at destroying bases as well. So those Eldars are not going to have an easy fight. Right now they're just out of the map, just trying to capture the first points. This map is also pretty tough for Eldars. Although they can abuse some of the chasms to nuke the cores from the sides, they can also get jumped from a lot of bushes everywhere, and if Kill Team is in one of those bushes, it will be a very bad surprise for them.
It's always that feeling point, that feeling out part.
But Dullahan has a plan, because he has built a Soul Shrine right away, and he's researching Quick Strike for his Banshees. So he's planning on opening with Banshees. You can see he only has Bone Singers on the field trying to capture those points, and a single Dire Inverger squads just to have something. Meanwhile, Weiss has invested in Type Marine doctrines with Slow Death and Solaris Common, which lets them fire on the move if they keep their regular bolters instead of getting Plasma or Flamers. So we're going to see a tactical Marine heavy strat from Weiss, and probably Banshee heavy strat from Dullahan. And Weiss is pushing Dullahan's point just right as Banshees hit the field with Quick Strike. So the Banshees are going to try and silence and try to tie up those tanks, but the tanks are more numerous now. And early on, they do a decent amount of melee damage as well. 22 DPS, which is not bad for a ranged unit. The Banshees are trying to tie down those attack marines. It's a tough job, but you can see their rage bar is building, and when it will pop off, they will get some shields back, so they can hold a little bit here, trying to dance around those attack marines, preventing them from shooting at those poor Avengers that are losing their shields, so they have to back, which opens attack marines to bashing that power node. Banshees got rid of that first tactical marine squad, pushing it away. Now the attack marines are using frag grenades to try to disengage those melee units. The Banshees have lost their shields, using quick strike to try and close in and keep tying up those attack marines. More Dire Avengers have healed the field, trying to push those pesky marines away, but they're still very tanky. They can just stay there for a long time.
Wow.
So now Dullahan has put his units in the safety of the shield, moved his building near the shield so they can reinforce from there, and that's what he's doing. So the tanks have to back.
Well, Weisberg seems to have the map control here. That's more of the map now.
Yeah, he has more of the map. He's building 4 requisition points because he's spamming attacks. He's got 5 squads now. So those Banshees won't be able to dance around like they did with three squads. And we're probably going to see upgrades of the weapons of those Marines pretty soon as well. I would use Flamers here because of how much they increase the power of their squad, but you can see Kill Team has hit the field, so Kill Team is going to use armor. And they've got their Flamers, and the Banshees are dead. Boom. Flamers very strong. Divers have to run away as well. They have no shield. We've got 5 attack marines and a Kill Team Iron Mo on the field from Rice. So he's got the fire power to just keep the map now. Dullahan has invested in Banshees with research and doctrines, but it hasn't paid out. And he only built 1 squad, and since he doesn't have the map control to build more, he's not doing much with it.
I think Dullahan has a Bone Singer all the way on the right side.
But he's still trying to cap stuff. Yeah, he's very good at just sending stuff on the other side of the map while he's doing something. And he's also doing that with Avengers, trying to recapture nodes. But Kill Team is going to push his node with strong attack marine support. That's 4 squads. The Banshees can use quick strike to close in the distance and try to tie up those Kill Team, but they couldn't do that in time. So they're dead. You really have to tie up Kill Team right away. And you can see Maka has been using her stasis, but too late. And the attack marines were able to use frag grenade to stun her out of that skill. If Maka had done that sooner, the Banshees could have been on top of that Kill Team, and Maka could have used Fortune to buff the Banshees, give them more damage, which means with Rage they would have shields faster and more health. So Banshees would have been able to stay there longer to tie up that squad, but the timing was off. The Banshees went in too soon. And
I think Weisberg is a solid player. I've watched a lot of his replays in this tournament. Yeah, he's got good micro.
Yeah, definitely. And now he's got his 6 attack marines, full health, healing his Kill Team, and Dullahan doesn't have anything to just manage that big of an army. He's getting Reapers now. They do AoE slow, so that's nice against blobs. But they're going forward a bit much here, and they're going to have to go back now. Yeah. Reapers are very strong, but positioning is very important with them. You can see a building being teleported forward next to Maka. He's planning to set up there. Reapers are in place. Maka has been using her spear, and the Reapers are actually doing good damage on those attack marines, but attack marines now have flamers as well. And in Exodus, they
that's a whole lot of fire right there. Yeah, that's a whole lot of fire.
They get their ability like in regular
nice grenade
in retail, but they also get a single flamer on one of the attack squads. So that's a lot of AoE damage over time stuff that's going to be very bad for those very squishy Eldar.
They're
That's
going
three
back and
flamers.
forth, back and forth.
Bench just they
He
hit
just
the
spawned,
field,
yeah.
but
He just spawned.
it's one squad after one squad, and versus 6 stacks like that, you need 3 squads at least at
At
the same
least,
time.
yeah.
Maka is dead. Her passive hits, giving her a second chance, but that second chance is not
She's
going to be
gone.
enough.
She's gone.
She would need that 2 or 3 chances more. Technically, they took losses, but they're still here. Keeping in mind that now that they have flamers, they will cost power to reinforce, so you have to be careful not to spend too much there. But Weiss has requisitions plenty, and he's building power nodes as well. He has the map pretty much, so he has the economy to sustain those upgrades, and he's still building more tank marines. I would transition at that point because he's got enough against like 2 Dire Avengers. But he's building what 4, 5, 6, a 7th stack marine. He recalled his kill team iron mode, which is an ability that this squad has, and he can call it back down later. So it's a nice way to heal it, or change the weapons you want to give the iron mode, because you can give the flamer, but you can also give a missile launcher. It was very good against buildings and like a falcon, for instance. Dudahan has got a 3rd Dire Avenger squad, and he's trying to bash resources, but he has to go back because Weiss has reinforced and is now pushing again. He's killed his Dudahan's webway that is gone. So Dudahan has 2 warrior portals, but he doesn't have the economy to use them both at once. He can't build enough. He's stuck with the 3 Dire Avengers versus 8 attack marines.
It's not going to work out well.
Yeah, no, the math doesn't add up.
Nope.
At all. We see a Dark Reaper squad again. If they're well placed, they can hold all of the stacks back, but he wasn't able to get a proper angle on them. And we can see a drop pod being called. That's the kill team, and the kill team is probably going to get missile launchers if he's trying to push. And Jonah is being called as well, so that's 2 elites. And that shield generator is going to be pushed. The kill team, I don't know.
Man, look at that fire.
And that's not from the kill team, that's just from the attack marines. The Reapers are doing a number on those tanks though, from the safety of the tower. Weiss uses 1 tack to send frag grenades to try to deset of those, and you can hear the distinct sound of missile launchers that are finally equipped on the kill team, and the kill team now does anti-vehicle. Still good against regular units though, because they do AoE damage against infantry, so nothing to scoff at, but he can now destroy that point shield generator much faster. And he's got enough tags to make sure that those Eldars can't do anything about it. So you just see Eldar roasting and the objective being slowly killed. Dudahan is teleporting a building back.
Shield generator is down.
Yeah, that's tough. Support building gets there but late. And Maka has been called again, but yeah, too late. Duhan has managed to keep his top point though, so he still has some economy, and if upgraded, those nodes can still produce good amount of resources. So it's not entirely lost, but there's no way he can win a straight up battle. He has to be a sneaky Eldar. He caught Jonah by surprise though, but Jonah just uses his wolf, which is denied. It might be a bug, I don't know. And it was enough to let the attack marines come to his rescue, so Jonah survives. So Dudahan is stuck there.
And that's sad. Yep, he's pretty much stuck in that area.
He's got 2 Reaper squads now, so that's a lot of AoE damage. If the tanks bunch up together and don't have a proper angle on those Reapers, the Reapers are going to be able to shred them. But again, it's all about positioning, and it's pretty tough on this map where the Space Marines can use a lot of walls and side breakers to get in range and use frag grenades to deset up those guys. Oh, Banshees alone again are rushing into the fire of those
Oh my god!
Marines.
Oh my god!
They went through with a quick strike and they're barely getting away. But now
Oh
they're
my
just.
god!
It might be a way to bait those attack Marines.
I
blob.
saw
No,
that,
no, no,
but
no.
I don't know.
Oh, that would have been nice because the Dark Reapers were set up
Yeah, yeah,
to shoot at those guys, but they moved too soon.
yeah. Oh,
with
look at that
Maka-
flame! Oh my god! Oh,
Ah.
nice grenade!
It was
Oh,
Maka's spear, but
Oh,
she
was
could have
that?
used fortune on her units.
I didn't
Not-
even see that. I thought it was a grenade.
No, it was the spear and fortune being used, so it deals damage in AoE. But if Banshees or something else was near that, they would have been buffed with a significant, like 60% damage reduction or something, and bonus damage. So that would have been nice, but it was used purely offensively without the buff, and that's a missed opportunity there. She could have used that on the Reapers and used the buffed Reapers to hold against those Tac Marines. Although the Tac Marines did take quite a bunch of losses, like you can look at them. There's 7 squads, so 1 is dead, and they're all half dead. So that's a lot of resources to reinforce. Since there's 5 flamers, 1 plasma gun as well, so they're all upgraded, and they're bashing resources. But Maka is pushing, trying to still get value somewhere with her 2 Dark Reapers. Jonah uses his wall to trap Dire Avengers, so they're pretty much dead.
Yep.
Webway moves.
Oh, look at this! Oh
Webway moves
man!
forward to support the Dark
That
Reapers,
was
and now the
cool.
Dark Reapers are able to shoot that Doctrine Chapel that will go down. Waste already has Laz Devastator Marines.
At least
So they
Dillahan's, he's attacking. He's going for it.
But he knew he wouldn't defend that point, so he's trying to get value somewhere else on the map, and he does. He destroyed that building,
Ooh.
so that's a staging ground that is not there anymore. But he's being flanked by the kill team.
Oh,
and
I
those,
just saw that. Ooh, this is
tags.
about to get
Yeah.
ugly.
The standard is being dropped with a wall around it, so the Reapers are now not able to fire on that blob. That single bench squad is not going to be able to stop 9 units. A nice plasma grenade, but does nothing on shielded attack marines from the standard. Maka is still trying to battle, psychic battle with that's Jonah Orion. She's trying to catch him.
She just
in
threw the
melee now.
spear? Oh no, she didn't.
No, Jonah used his blast, and now Maka is being forced in melee to try to get Jonah, but she couldn't support her troops. And now we see Wraith Guards, and those guys can use Rift Blast to change their damage to anti-infantry, and that's what they do. You can see their projectiles undulate, and that means that they do anti-infantry, and now they're back to normal damage, which is their normal damage, which is not normal damage, it's anti-armor damage.
Fucking heat
But it was-
seeking. I like it.
It was enough to scare the stacks away. There's only 6 squads left, and mostly hurt. Kill team finally dies to a nice
Yep.
bench strike, and that's 5 attacks, almost dead. All of them. Kill team is dead. So those Wraith Guards were able to do something. That was pretty sweet. It's a small comeback from Dullahan, but
Yep.
he's
See
still
what he can
behind
do
in
with it.
army, so you have to be careful.
Let's see. Let's see. I'd like to see him take some more resource back and see what
Yeah,
happens.
he's now tier 2 though, with upgrades for his infantry, so he's in a good position. Waste has to transition into something else because Tech Marines are not going to cut it versus those Wraith Guards. He has to use his last devs. He has to rebuild some because they died. He needs something to break that Eldar frontline that is now a lot more scary, and he's got anti-armor as well with those race guards, so they can attack that point. Jonah Orion is still alive. Those tech marines are being rebuilt, but Banshee with the quick strike just go through them, hurt them a bit, and try to tie them up. And now we've got Maka supporting the troops. The race guards trying to provide fire support with long range as well. Dark Reapers as well. The Banshees sadly die.
Nice push.
It was a nice push. Maybe a couple more units would have been nice, because we can see a death
light 'em up.
being dropped on those Eldar. And those poor race guard, they have to go back. They can do damage to it, but they have to just move out of range of that. They will die if they just stay there. Maka used stasis to prevent that attack blob from pushing further, but she's now almost dead. More Banshees are coming in. You can see the Wraith Guard and the Dark Reapers, when they work together, can destroy that dropout pretty fast, but the Banshees are not being supported. They have to run. He's trying to get that Jonah kill.
Ooh, that didn't work.
It's not enough. Jonah was able to use blind to delay and let his attack marines finish the job.
He would have been better off doing some unit preservation and just getting stronger over time.
Yeah, I would have waited for another Banshee squad and maybe another Red Guard, or maybe even just Dire Avengers as meat shields, because right now there's too little. He can't just stop all that flame from just wiping his Reapers.
I wonder if he might have squandered his little comeback time there.
Yeah, he's just sending Banshees one after another to die, while more of them would be able to just tie more of the attack marines and actually do something. And the race guards are dead now. Oh no, they used teleport back, I think. And we can see that the Eldar prepare to push back. They've got two Wraith Guards, one more Banshee squad, and we finally see the very strong, very buffed Wraith Lord. So that's going to be interesting to see, because now the Eldar have a proper front line. The Banshees silence the anti-armor of Weiss, and they're getting shredded by those Wraith Guards and the Wraith Lord tying them up in melee. Weiss is not ready for this. And we might see a charge of the Wraith Lord inside that blob, and the terrain stops it, which is very, very sad, because that would have been a lot of dead Space Marines, which might still happen. Wraith Lord uses his shield to get a speed buff. He uses that to tie up the kill team in melee, and just whacks the kill team with his base wizard sword, completely shredding it. Every shot kills a model pretty much.
Those Marines are they're getting abused, man.
And you can see Fortune finally being used on units. You can see that small blue glow under the race guards, so they're buffed now. They do more damage.
They're running back and forth, taking damage. It's like some kind of hazing for a sorority or something.
Yeah, and you can see Maka has used Fortune, but the wall is being dropped on those race guards, so that's very nice timing, and those tech marines are saved by that, because they would have died otherwise. Like a charge from the Wraith Lord was enough. Might still happen though, because as soon as the wall drops, charge. That's it. Like Wraith Lord just charged the Space Marines. They took a lot of damage. That hard counter of the last devs was all but wiped. Maka is still there providing support. The Wraith Guards are still behind, sending their melons of death. Pretty scary stuff. And Waze doesn't have anything to deal with those heavy armor units. The Banshees still die really fast though. Flamers really work well against Banshees, but against that Lord and those Wraith Guards, there's not much that Waze can do. Still using last devs. We'll see if he can keep them firing long enough. As it stands right now, he can't. You can see Fortune being used on those Banshees, so they're going to try to bash resources, while the anti-armor stuff is going to attack that node, which is the nice way to do things. They use the proper damage types against the proper armor types. But I saw Terminators are here, and that's very bad news for that Wraith Lord. Even though Spectres also hit the field to scare those Terminators away, the Wraith Lord has to run. He's lost his shield now. He really needs to back off now. And the Terminators teleport on the race guards, instantly deletes one squad. The other lost his shield and is going to die
Well,
now.
this is a huge shift in momentum. I mean, it's been a back and forth battle, and this is another shift.
Yeah, you can see how elites and like vehicles or different armor types can change the battle when they hit the field. So just because
Absolutely.
you thought you won doesn't mean that the game can't turn if you didn't plan for a transition into vehicles or if you didn't plan for the next big elite. And those Terminators were able to just turn the table by themselves, killing two Red Guards and scaring the Wraith Lord away. Wei
Well,
still lost his point bottom though, so that's nice.
getting some weird kind of error. Sorry about that, guys. On Twitch, they weren't able to see the entire screen, but for some reason, there's some kind of fucking bars there. But I think everything's still viewable. Sorry about that, guys. I'll fix that for next time.
Right. So Weiss has rebuilt his Wraith Guards, and he's pushing now. No, he's just retaking points. He's got Banshees, like those two Banshees from earlier are still bashing resources around the map. So Dullahan always keeps doing stuff at different points on the map, getting value there. Waze still sees a lot of the map with servitors hidden in the Dale's cover. But Dullahan still has a good army now, with Spectres, a lot of entire armor. So those Terminators, even though they're very strong, they have to be careful because it could happen to them. Wes is reinforcing his giant Attackmarine blob. He's got more lasers now, more laser devastators. So more anti-armor as well. So he's also ready to deal with those Red Guards. But both are just staying home, reinforcing, planning their next attack.
Yeah, this is a huge battle just about to take place. This is going to be nice.
Yeah, buildings are teleporting, so that's usually what's going to... Shit's going to go down. We can see a webway being brought forward to support the Eldar, and Eldar is going to try and get that base tower. Spectres are using their skimming ability to be above ground where Terminators can't get to them in melee.
Oh,
but
man.
The Wraith Guards are getting surprised by Kill Team dropped from the sky. That's going, and the Kill Team has missiles, so the Wraith Guards are going to die pretty much. It's a very tough spot. Fortune was used on the Banshees, but the Banshees were just kept behind because they couldn't recharge into that turret range.
Can Dullahan force a game 3?
Maybe.
Maybe.
The Spectres are still there trying to be annoying, but that's a lot of Tech Marines that can just shoo them away.
That's it. They're gone.
Yeah. They have very little health. Very good if you let them beam up for a long time, but you have to be mindful of them. They have no staying power.
On our own, going after that servitor. It's going rogue.
Right, it's nice to remove the vision of Waze if you can, because
yep.
It's better if you can catch him unprepared. And right now, Waze is pushing it. He knows that there isn't much left for Dullahan, because his Banshees are attacking Waze's resources, but he knows he killed some Race Guards. So it's going to be hard for Dullahan to defend against that. But he's got 8 elite points, so 2 more and he can get a Wraith Knight Staldir. Very strong in melee. She does bonus damage to units in stasis, and Maka can put units in stasis, so very good synergy right there if he can last that long. But Waze is going to push Dullahan's tower now, dropping stuff from the sky. That's Dreadnoughts, and that's
nice.
Very dirty tactic. They can slam the tower. Dullahan uses the stasis on the tower. If Staldir was alive right now, that would be a lot of dead Dreads, but only 9 points. He needs 1 more. Those Red Guards are walking straight into a wall right next
Shield is
to
up.
Dreadnought. The Dreadnought is going to kill that poor Wraith Guard team. The Wraith Lord went right in, but too far. Maka is caught in the middle of everything. the Banshees are behind trying to decap that orbital relay to prevent the relay from killing everything. But the Wraith Guards were
Oh,
marched forward too much. They couldn't shoot at those dreadnoughts. And now those two elites are going to get shredded. That's a very bad positioning right there from Dullahan. The Wraith Guard should have stayed behind, and the Wraith Lord shouldn't have went that far deep into the army, because now it's pretty much GG.
yep. What
There's
an
three
awesome
dreadnoughts.
game, though, man.
Talia hits the field. If she had hit the field
Just a minute earlier.
30 seconds, just 30 seconds before, that would have been very different. She uses stasis now, but that's too late.
Yeah.
The core is going into hiding, but that's only 16 seconds, and she can't kill all of that army in 16 seconds.
No, she cannot.
9 seconds now. It's very sad, because that would have been a very different game.
Yep.
Just like 20, 30 seconds. That would have made the difference. On a half an hour game, that's pretty impressive.
Woo! GG. GG.
GG.
Holy cow. And that is the final game for today for the series. We're going to continue our journey next Sunday. Some great games. What'd you think of some of the games we watched?
Round 2 was definitely where things started to pick up.
Became more tactical. Very tactical, very methodic. I enjoyed this series.
Yeah, you can see the more technical, experienced players. So next game will be Sunblast, still in round 2, and that will be pretty interesting.
Hey guys, would anyone like a free copy of Dawn of War 3? I'll give you the Steam key after. Just type in, just let me know in chat. First come, first serve. I'll give it to you for free.
Yeah, get that key and join us on the Discord and play with us. It's good fun.
Exactly. Okay, so site, I will give you that. No problema. After this is after I shut down the
Site already
broadcast, I'll
has
send you
the
the key.
game.
Yeah, but you can give it to a friend. Get somebody involved. That's how
He
the
has
game
no
grows.
friends.
Yeah, well. Oh shit, that's funny. Very, very good matches. I want to thank everyone for playing. Big shout out to everyone that showed up. Sunblast, Weisberg, Sight, Sunblast, Dullahan, and all
Chompers,
lurkers. Chompers, great game, Chompers. A lot of funny stuff happened. It was very entertaining to watch. Thank you all so much. Artists, thank you so much. And I will see you all on Sunday.
Yeah, see you next Sunday.
Thank you. Bye bye.